Hey guys, it's Jake Mace with LearnFromJake.com, back here at Paris Stanford. Thanks for being in my video again.
Absolutely, thanks sir.
You compete in Jiu Jitsu competition, but also MMA competition.
Yeah, so I compete in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, also a professional mixed martial artist. So yeah, a lot of different competitions that I'll do. Some inside the MMA cage and then on a mat just like this as well for Brazilian Jiu Jitsu competition.
I've even watched a few of your fights that are circulating around YouTube. And you've got some moves that are in your wheelhouse, your bread and butter moves that you wanted to talk about today.
Yeah, so definitely the armbar. You know, we had another video we did where we went over some of the armbar.
I'll link to it up here and down there.
The big thing in jiu-jitsu, you don't want to get caught up doing the same move and trying to force it, and that submission's not going to happen. And you just keep on trying. You blow out your arms, you gas out your whole body, and you didn't get a submission on top of all that.
But your opponent knows what's coming?
Exactly. You know, and even that now, maybe even use it as a trick. Set up one, go to the next. So we're going to learn the armbar, triangle, and omoplata. So those three really work well together in transitionary periods. So let's go ahead and get started.
Let's do it.
First one, we went over in the other video, so I won't spend as much time on it, but I'll get into a little bit of detail on the armbar. Always want to grab the wrist on the same side. Don't go cross-side for the wrist. Leave that cross grip for the elbow. Pull it across into position, knuckles on the far side of your face so that his elbow is about at your sternum.
And your right hand is on my right elbow.
Yes, I don't want to just be here. I want to go all the way around and hook it. You want to cup in, pinch your elbow to your own body for control. So this is a pretty strong grip here. I always try to pinch my elbows in. I don't want to be here, chicken wing in it. Nice and tight.
And we did a video a couple seconds ago about 3 grip strength techniques you use. So I know that you got some powerful grip strength.
It's very important. Grip strength is everything.
For sure.
So last grip that I'm going to do is I'm going to reach up. I'm going to grab by the shoulder. For too far, use your knees, pull them into your chest, and dump them forward. From here, we went for our arm bar by sliding up to the hip and pinching that knee inside. Once I slide up the side, we call that flaying the side, like he's a fish and my leg is a knife. I want to go all the way up to the armpit and lock at the end of my ankle. Push that head out, circle the head, and I get my armbar position where I hip straight up to the sky. I hold this nice and tight to my body and lift and get my tap. Now, here's the next one that we can go to when he starts pulling this arm out. Once this arm starts coming out, I know it's gone. What I want to do is keep the arm that's in still so you can't pull completely out. Exactly. And we're going to circle back over the head. But this time, we're going to cut the angle as we pull this arm across with us, and we're going to get to this position here.
Oh, wow.
I'm looking at the opposite side of his head, and I'm going to lock this in place. So what I'm going to do is my ankle is going to get locked behind the bend or the ditch of my knee here. So as I do that, it gets a little tight. I'm going to pinch my knees together, and once again, it'll get super tight, so Jake will have to tap.
That's a knockout move. I'm going to go out.
Yeah, exactly. You'll go to sleep very fast on you. It's a very good self-defense thing, especially for women have very strong legs.
Yeah.
You know, so this is a good one that I advise all women to learn as well for self-defense. Now, once we're in this position as well, you have something called the triangle armbar. Now I'm making it a little looser because I'm not trying to choke him while I'm talking. Jay goes to sleep on us here. So make sure this arm, anytime that arm is in as well, I still have an armbar as well still. So I can hold this triangle lock, I can extend my hips up and still get a triangle armbar.
I can feel it.
Out of this. Now, lastly, if he starts to posture up, bring it in. Now I know I can't get my triangle. He's too high. I can't lock around the back of his neck. I'm on his back. What I can do is my omoplata. I'm going to tuck this into my pocket. As that's turning, has a nice little bend. It's in my pocket. I'm going to swing this leg open, and this one's going to come and it's going to stomp the floor. If I have to push, so be it. I'll push off the floor. Okay. Once I stomp down, they go down. Now, once I'm up, I have to control the hip. If somebody's able to forward roll out, they're gone. So make sure you control their hip. From here, I don't even want him up like this. So when I grab and hook the hip here, I'm gonna scoot my butt and I'm gonna pull him flat to the ground. Once he's on the ground, I'm gonna go to what we call a knee walk position. I can show that technique later. It's a warm-up drill. But I wanna make sure I turn my feet out so both my knees are in this position, feet are here. Now, I don't want to, common mistake is people try to sit into people. I need to control him and roll, or not roll, but I want to sit up as if I'm going to roll right next to him. There's going to be a lot of pressure on his shoulder and he's going to have to tap pretty quick. So I'll slowly lift my butt up and just rock forward until all the pressure's on the shoulder.
Oh my God.
And they'll have to tap.
Can you do that one more time with the camera behind us so we can see that?
Yep.
That leverage was crazy.
Yeah, so I'm actually, the outside of my knee is clamping down and pinching nice and tight here. I'm controlling his hips so he can't move. I've already flattened him out. And now, as I lift forward, all the weight is getting to the shoulder. And one thing about that, you know, it might not feel like too much at first, and then it's very intense.
Yeah. I was thinking, where are you going? Oh my God, it's over.
Exactly. So those three, very useful for transitions. back and forth to each other.
Can you show each one more time, a little smoother, and then at the end of the video, we'll do it in full speed?
Fantastic, cool. So here we go. We got wrist, elbow, neck, foot on that hip, push, fillet the side, lock, and we have arm bar. The arm ends up starting to come out. Once it starts coming out, subject, pull out. Good.
Here's the second one, right?
Yep, we're gonna circle the head, we're gonna pull the arm across, and notice I'm pushing off his body to shift.
Oh yeah.
Pull that arm across, lock behind the bend of my knee. Now, another thing that I can do is I can always keep this arm trapped here for another arm bar, but to finish this triangle, I wanna lock down my heel, I wanna pinch my knees together, and then also I can pull the back of the head as I hip up to make everything super tight as well.
And I could breathe and I could stay here, but my blood flow's gone.
Exactly.
So what, I got 5-8 seconds?
That's it, you know?
That's it. Jesus.
You know, and maybe less if I'm really doing it.
Yeah.
You know? So, now last thing we'll do is once they start posturing up on us, I'm not able to get my triangle. Notice, it shifted, I'm across the back. I don't want to try to choke his back, I'm trying to be on his neck. So we're gonna go to our omoplata. I'm gonna tuck to my pocket. I'm forcing this to bend as I open, swing out. As this one stomps the floor, I need to get up and hug the hip. Sometimes when you stomp this heavy, they're gonna fall flat. If they don't, I need to
So you said I could roll out of this?
Yeah, so if Jake just does a forward roll, he's gone. So once we're here, I can control. Now he's still pretty strong, he has his base, so make sure I'm controlling. I need to pull sideways and dump.
Oh, there we go.
Once they're dumped down, let's turn our feet out. This is called our knee walk position, and I can show you that in a minute. I wanna go up, putting this knee to the floor. It's not gonna make it, he's gonna have to tap before that happens, but do not sit up into them, sit next to them, and lift your butt off the ground. A lot of pressure on that shoulder.
That's a really embarrassing tap too, because it really takes out my ego as well as my arm.
Yeah, actually recently, about a week ago, they got, I think it was maybe only the second omoplata finish in the UFC.
Really?
You know, it's not an easy thing to do, but if you're, you know, cognizant,
If it's in your wheelhouse and you fall into it, it's there.
it's there. You know, if you recognize it, you drilled it, you're like, oh wow.
Isn't that the case with most fighters, even professional fighters, where they might have 3 to 5 moves that are like their bread and butter, but they have this vast encyclopedia of moves just in case they need it?
Absolutely, for a few reasons. One, in case you need it, like you said. Another reason, so I can identify when someone else is trying to do it to me.
Yeah.
Is just as important.
Absolutely.
So.
All right, so maybe full speed one time?
Absolutely.
Let's see.
We'll go all the way through.
Paris, thank you so much for your time and expertise.
Absolutely, thanks, sir.
Any closing thoughts for people out there who are beginners to the martial arts? Maybe they're getting bullied or they want to compete like you do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, a few things you touched on. For one, you know, I know what it's like to be bullied. I grew up, you know, with people just trying to pick on you. Wasn't the biggest kid in the world, you know, so I had to fight. You know, it's a common theme in my life. So,
when you were younger?
Yeah, when I was younger, for sure.
What were some of your ways of dealing with it at the time?
You know, at the time, you know, you would tell certain people or that you wanted to help you, you know, as far as teachers and stuff, and didn't quite get the help you wanted, you know, and I don't advocate violence at all, but sometimes you do have to push back. And quite literally, the day I pushed back was the day I stopped getting bullied.
Really?
And learned that most people don't want to be in a fight, especially that bully. He's doing it because he's maybe bigger than you. Doesn't mean that he knows how to fight, likes to fight, or is willing to fight.
They just like the intimidation.
Absolutely. You know, they get something out of it. So definitely don't be afraid to defend yourself.
And get involved with a program, a martial art program that will teach you some technique
Absolutely.
and some fighting philosophy.
Absolutely. You know, defending yourself doesn't mean just throwing a punch. It's understanding how to maybe call mental jiu-jitsu, you know, where I can do a little Jedi mind trick on you. Where
so much of the fight happens before the punches or the submission even takes place.
Absolutely. So just make sure that you are well trained, and it gives you a certain kind of confidence that you know if you get into an altercation, you will be good. And half the time that kind of confidence kind of bleeds through a little bit, and people can read that and say, I don't know if I quite want to mess with this guy.
Well, I'm about to leave Arizona and the United States for good, so it was great that I got a chance to meet you and do some videos before I take off.
Thanks, sir.
Where can folks find out more about you?
Yeah, find out more about me. You can always go to, like I said, to fightready.com, find out more about myself in the gym. I'm a professional mixed martial artist as well, so Max Muscle Sports Nutrition, I have an athlete page on there. You can find out more about me. And then the regular old social media as far as Facebook, You can see my normal page. I have an athlete page, Paris Superhero Stanford, and then Instagram as well, Paris_Superhero 444.
One more thing too, I know you're kind of a spiritual guy. Yeah. You have some beliefs, whether it's your vegetarianism or anything else. I mean, a yoga practitioner would get that spiritual benefit. What are some things you do for the spiritual side of the martial arts?
Yeah, definitely. I know a lot of people like to go straight to meditation first, and then they skip over breathing. I think you need to learn to breathe before you can meditate, and I think that's a common misconception.
I think they're almost the same thing. Breathing skill is meditation.
Exactly. So learn to breathe. That's a big thing. Sit in silence sometimes. You know, it's always the person that says the most all the time that really has the least to say. You know, so don't be that person. Sometimes gather your own thoughts. Learn, why am I even thinking these things? Do some breathing exercise. It doesn't have to be long. You can take 5-10 minutes of your day, but do it consistently. Everything is consistent focus.
Yeah.
If you don't have any focus, it'll reflect in your life.
That's a good message for all things you're into in life. Stay consistent.
Stay consistent, stay focused. This video is a great example of two people kind of coming together to benefit others, and we all should kind of subscribe to that.
Absolutely, and come check out Paris Stanford if you guys are in Arizona, North Scottsdale area. Check them out and attend his classes. You guys won't be disappointed.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.